Hello, in this video we're going to be showing you how to create a Word document using three fields or three levels of information in our merge engine. The levels of information are going to come from the contact, the equipment table, and the service calls attached to the equipment. Right now you see we are on Chris Huffman's record and we have an equipment tab here, so let's go and look at this equipment record. On this equipment record, we of course have the model numbers and manufacturers, but we also have service calls down here. So I can go into this service call and I can say the status of this call is closed. And that is of course a child record, service calls attached to this equipment table. So let's now generate a document, and we're going to do this from scratch. I'm going to click on the Word icon on the toolbar. I'm going to click on New here, and we're going to call it Equipment with Service Calls. So I'm going to say OK. It's created that template and it's asking us, do we want to edit it now? So we'll say yes, and it opens up that template in your word processor. Microsoft Word 2010 is what I have installed. On the top toolbar of Word, you're going to see our plugin, Durkin Act, and over here we're going to open up the designer. So the designer is now attached itself to the database that we have opened, and we can see we have tables down here. So up here I'm just going to put some header information. This is our contact information area. So in the contact information area, I can select, let's just say, the contact name and the contact company. Now I can add a lot more fields, but again, for the purposes of this demo, we're just trying to be very succinct here. So we want the next level of information on here to be from the equipment table. So here's my equipment table, and let's change it to equipment here. Let's scroll down, and we're going to find our manufacturer, and we're going to find our model number. Now underneath that, if you remember, we had a series of service calls that we want to add in here. So I'm just going to again give us a header, service calls. Now to have a series of rows attached, we don't want to attach the field directly. What we want to do is we want to attach it as a table. So I'm going to go down here and find my service calls table. And up here I'm going to click on this button, add a table. So inside of add a table, we might want the service call number. And then we had some fields like labor cost and parts cost, again, just to use a couple in this demo. I'll say OK. And as you can see, what it did is it built a table inside of the document for us. And this table, pretty cool thing with Word, if I go to design, I can actually just click here and change the look or the layout of this table. So let's keep it on this red here. Well, I'm done here. I can of course fill in Dear Jim and fill in all that information to make this more letter appropriate, but we just want to show this on the demo. So let's close our changes, close and save our changes. Now we have the equipment service tab document. So I'm just going to click on the create button down here in the lower right. The merge engine comes forward using that template and using the information that we have in the ACT database, and here it presents it to us. So there's our contact information. We go down to the next section. There's our singular equipment information. And then, of course, we go into the service calls. And here are those service calls, 1, 3, 7, 2, and Charlie, that we found on the contact table. And again, that was underneath this entry. Here is the model number and the manufacturer. And here's those service calls. I want to thank you for attending, and look for other videos for further information on the feature sets of Impact Suite for ACT.